Hi, and welcome to episode 17 of Girlfriends Knitting. I am in my office this afternoon at lunch recording this, so we'll see how we can get done without too much binging. I heard it bing right as I was saying hi, of my emails in the background. I am Carolyn, also call Shirley on Clark and Ravelry, and let's jump right in with finished objects. So I always like to start with finished objects because that way you see what's finished in case it was a work in progress earlier. But this week, my finished object was not a work in progress earlier. As a matter of fact, it wasn't a work in progress until about 6 o'clock last night because I wanted to join in Diane's knit along for May on the Knitabulls podcast. And it's an awesome idea because we have so much going on right now. It's a washcloth knit along. And so I knit a bunch of Grandma's favorite dishcloths, but I decided to do something different. And so this is the Spa Day dishcloth. And I just love the striping. And it's very smushy. It was knit out of some peaches and cream cotton. It's a 4-ply worsted weight cotton. There is a free dishcloth pattern on the back. It's the Granny Square dishcloth. I did not use that. I just noticed that it was on there. And Diane was talking about how there's also the dishcloths that you can knit and send to soldiers in Afghanistan, and it's got to be 100% cotton. And this, I like, it's 100% USA grown cotton. So I'm probably going to knit some dishcloths for that and send, and I'll probably use this peaches and cream. And I just love the striping. So in a little while, I'm going to enter that on Diane's Knitabulls Ravelry group for the May knit along. Yay! Squishy. Works in progress. Same as last week. I have knit none of them. I've been focused on spinning and the color affection shawl, which I'll show y'all in just a second. And I'll show you both the spinning and the color affection shawl. This weekend I do plan to do quite a bit on Jennifer's Something Blue square. So hopefully you will see that next week finished up. So let's jump into the color affection knit along. The end date is going to be September 18th. I think I said 15th last week, but then I went and looked at what day of the week the 15th was, and I think it's like a Sunday or a Saturday. So I think it's a Saturday. So I switched it to the 18th because that would be my recording day, or the day before I record usually. So it's going to be a summer knit along. So you have all summer. I will tell you, having got as far as I have on the color affection shawl, it is very addictive, and several other people have said this as well. Once you get one almost done or done, you start thinking about colors you'd want to do for the next one. I will probably knit more than one of these, and anybody who decides to knit more than one and does it before September 18th, you can certainly enter multiple entries in the knit along for the prizes at the end. Tag your projects on Ravelry with GF Color KAL. So Girlfriends Color KAL. You also can double dip if there's other knit alongs that you are doing that you're using this for. That is wonderful. You can certainly enter it in more than one place if it's allowed on theirs, but it's certainly allowed on mine. And just some shout outs. The Megan of Stockinit Zombies, that's one of the podcasts that I watch every week, and I noticed that she was working on the color affection shawl. I'd mentioned last time or 2 weeks ago that they'd seen a bunch at Yarn Over, and so she was working on one, and she has posted her finished project on our site, and it is beautiful. And that's not just saying that because our colors are very similar, but she used kind of a pink, a purple, and a real bright green, almost yellow, and my green is a slightly different shade of green, but otherwise it's pretty close to the colors that Megan picked. So I'm not saying hers is gorgeous just because it looks so much like mine. And then Stephanie Pearl McPhee, who is Yarn Harlot, her blog, she has pictures of hers, and hers is in like blues and gray or whites, gray or creams. I can't remember exactly, but it's beautiful. So I've posted the link to the blog entry from her website specifically about the Color Affection shawl on our Ravelry group. So go check out hers too. It's gorgeous. Post your colors on the chatter thread on Ravelry so we can see everybody's colors as they're knitting them up. I'm so excited to see all these finished projects. And then once you get your object finished, post a picture of your finished object on the prize thread, and I will draw for prizes at the end. Still haven't yet decided what those prizes are going to be, but as I decide, I will post the prizes as well. Definitely going to be a pattern of your choice. Definitely going to be a skein of yarn from Holidays Yarn in the Hanky Panky colorway. I haven't decided which color I'm going to use yet. I may even let you decide if you want the blue, the red, or the cream, blue, and red combo. But that's a colorway specifically for my local yarn shop, so it's not something you can get very easily, and so I thought that would be great as one of the prizes as well. And there will be more than just two, but those are some of the ones that I'm thinking about. So let me show you mine. Remember, I'm using Dream in Color Smushy, and the first is Sundown Orchid. That's the main color. Then contrast color 1 is Amethyst Ink, and I think it's my favorite of all the colors. And you could see it on last week's episode better than on this week's as far as the color goes, but it's a dark purple, but it's got pops of a brighter purple, and then a dark that's almost black. And then the last color, which is contrast color 2, is Happy Forest. I made it through the first section. I made it through the second section because it goes so fast. And I'm just beginning adding the third color in. So here it is. Actually, that's the back. This is the front. So there's the pink section. And then, no, this is awkward here. That's better, where you don't quite have this light sun from the sun shining through the background. There's the purple and pink stripe. Let me find the end because I just literally got started on the third color. And I love how that's doing. So mine is going to have the green as the border because I wanted it to kind of pop onto the end. So there you go. There's my Color Affection shawl. I've just made it onto the third stripe. And there's been a lot of chatter about the top being too tight. And I literally followed the pattern exactly, and I did not follow any of the mods. And it is a little tight at the top. I don't know if you can see. But I'm okay with it. I'm just in love with this shawl. And maybe since I do have every intention of knitting a second one, out of a different type of yarn. I'm loving the Dream in Color Smushy, but I want to try out something else. And so I'm going to knit a second one out of something different. I may try the mods on the top for that. So that is those two things, the washcloth and the shawl, are the two knitting projects that I've been working on this week. And like I said, the washcloth was just literally a last night. I picked it up because my spinning wheel was squeaking and I couldn't find, my oil. So I kind of needed to wait and find that before I got back to spinning. I'm doing 2 spin-alongs. I'm very excited. So let me start off with the first one that I joined, which is the Froggy Monkey. It's the Knitting in Circles, Amy, who's Froggy Monkey, and Diane of Knitabulls. Their joint knit-along. I'm sorry, I keep turning my head. I'm trying to get all this stuff organized. And I bought the Froggy Monkey. Though after I saw Diane's Franklin knit up, oh, I might have to buy some Franklin later too. I think No Makers is going to dye up some more later. The Franklin is just gorgeous, and it looks so much like her little bird Franklin. But I loved Froggy Monkey as well, and so that's the one I picked because the colors were just bright and springtime and made me happy. And the first, which I have very little of left, is sort of a aqua, teal kind of color. And what I did, I've done a lot of work on the fiber prep. I took the braid and took it completely apart and split the colors into the 3 colors. So there's kind of like the aqua color, then there's sort of an olivey green, and then there's a beautiful orange. And so I've split the colors into 3 because I wanted long repeats. Basically, I wanted 3 color blocks. And so I'm just working on the first. And it's pretty thick. It's probably going to end up being a worsted weight easy. Because it is spinning it really thick for me. I'm not sure why. It's pretty even. But it's just spinning up a lot thicker than some of the other things that I've been spinning lately. And I'm very new to spinning, so that could also be technique. But I'm still just working on this aqua, and it's so pretty. So pretty. So once I get done the aqua, I'm going to go in this color order. Aqua, green, orange. Then I'm going to chain ply or Navajo ply it so that the big color blocks stay together. Because of the fiber prep I've done, I could probably 2-ply it if I just split the colors evenly after I split the colors apart. But I'm just really into chain plying right now. Once I've started it and practiced with it, I love it. So that's what I'm going to do with that. So that's my first spin along. And it, I think, ends mid-June. So I'm plenty on track for that. The second one is with Storied Yarns. It's the Downton Abbey spin along. And I showed you my fiber last week. Storied Yarns. It's the, let me flip the card over because the details are on the back. It's the Dancing in the Hall, Downton Abbey Inspiration, 100% BFL, 4 ounces. Ta-da! And it is still in the braid because I'm actually spinning it from the braid. I literally just pulled the braid apart. And I'm spinning it from the braid. Loving how it's coming out. I gotta find my end here. And as you can see, it is much thinner than the Froggy Monkey. It is actually spinning up really thin for me. And there is some yellow up under here. Right now, the way it's on the bobbin, it's reminding me a lot of the Godric's Hollow colorway that I used for my Hogwarts Express. It's got big repeats of kind of a black and red. And then underneath there's some yellow. And then it goes from the yellow into this green. And then it's got a long repeat of a blue. Then it went back to black and then back to red. And so it's reminding me a lot of that Godric's Hollow that I knit the Hogwarts Express. So you can check that out on my Ravelry site to see the color and the pictures of that so you can see what I mean. I'm so in love with this. And to be honest, I decided to work on both. I've never had multiple spinning projects on my wheel at the same time before, but I'm working on both because since this was spinning up so thick, it was just getting very hard for me. And so I needed to be able to break it up and go back and forth. And so that's why I picked this up. And I need to double check on the time for this spin along. I just don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm doing fine with it. So that's what's going on there. So that's all of my projects. So let's talk about fitness. And in fitness, we have a big major sort of charity project going on, which is for the American Heart Association. And I saw a lot of y'all posting on Ravelry about how you'd lost one of your parents to heart disease or to a heart attack or something. And I just thank you so much for posting that and for giving us support and inspiration to motivate us on with this project. There is a colorway design contest with Desert Vista Dyeworks, who is Purple Haze, Susan from Desert Vista Dyeworks. She is designing a colorway for us. And so we're all posting inspiration pictures, both on her Rab group and on mine. And then her and I will go through and pick a winner for the yarn. And she will dye up some gorgeous yarn for us. And the winner of the inspiration will, sorry, I'm talking to my assistant through the window. The winner of the Colorway Contest will win a skein of the yarn. So if you haven't yet had a chance to post your inspiration picture for the Colorway Contest, do so before Friday, because I think we're going to decide this weekend who the winners are, and then I'll let you know on the next podcast. In conjunction with that, PK Jewelry, who's Pam, and I are working on a sock design. We are pretty far along on that, and so I'm very excited about how it's coming out. And then once we get the yarn, we'll knit up some samples in the yarn and offer the pattern for a nominal fee. And all of the proceeds from the pattern will go to the American Heart Association. So with that in mind, Julie, who is sort of our inspiration, who kind of got us going on this track, had suggested that she would look up some different races and stuff, but she's really had a rough time lately and is helping her mom with Alzheimer's. I believe her mother has Alzheimer's. Sorry, Julie, if that's not accurate. So please keep her in your thoughts and prayers. But she hasn't had time lately to do that. And so I was looking into it, and I found some heart walks. And there's heart walks all around the country. And so I was really wondering if we would all be able to get together at one race, since we're spread out all over the world even. And I didn't want people to have to do a lot of traveling, but if they wanted to join in. And so when I found this, I thought that was a great idea, because there's heart walks pretty much in every region. Now, they won't all necessarily be on the same weekend. They certainly may not even be in the same month. So check out the Heart Walks website. I have that posted on a page on our Ravelry group, all the information about the Couch to 5K. See if there's a heart walk in your area, and if you could do a walk before like November or so. There's one in my area, actually there's two in my area, both in October. So I'm going to sign up for one of the two of them. And that's what I'm going to do for my first 5K, is the heart walk there. Julie did actually contact me here very recently, and she has found another walk that would be great for you to join in, and it's the Walk to End Alzheimer's, and it's in Denver, Colorado on September 15th. So September 15th is a Saturday, I believe. So if you want to support Julie and Alzheimer's, there's another great opportunity. It's the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And Alzheimer's is something that's very near and dear to my heart as well. And so we may do this sort of a charity project again, and then the next time do the Alzheimer's Association. Last but not least, on the Couch to 5K, we do have a street team on Runkeeper. So Runkeeper is an iPhone app. I'm not sure if you can get it on Android or anything else. I haven't looked into that yet. But you can create a street team. And you kind of motivate each other, and you post your walks, and actually it posts them for you on the website, and you can see how each other are doing. And so I have created that street team. Actually, several of us have worked together to create that. And so if you're interested, you can either send me a personal message with your regular email, not through Ravelry, through Ravelry you can send me a personal message with your personal email, and I can invite you to join the street team. Also, you can see details about that on our Ravelry group. So if you are interested in joining the street team with us, please do so. So personally, I have gotten in my walks this week. I'm walking about half, so about 2.5 K, trying to build up. I'm running as much as I can in that, but maybe it's like the 0.5 of the 2.5 kilometers that I'm actually running, because I'm still very out of shape. And the running is really, losing weight's going to hopefully be a side effect of this. Getting in shape so that I don't get out of breath when I walk upstairs, that's the main reason that I'm doing this, is I feel very unhealthy. I feel very lack of energy, out of breath when I do the slightest bit of activity, and that's what I want to stop. To be honest, I'm actually fine with the way I look. I would love to lose weight simply because I've never been smaller, and I'd love to see how that feels, but that's not my motivation. My motivation is I want to be able to do stuff. I want to be able to be active, and that's my main motivation. So, still trying to get my water in. Still haven't made it up to 8 cups a day, but am definitely getting more water in. Trying to cut way back on the sweet tea right now. Once again, yesterday I was just having a bad day, and I put sugar in my coffee without thinking about it, because I was wanting something sweet. Drank the coffee and was like, this is not good. So I'm so excited to know that once you create that habit, even if you slip up, you don't want to do that. And so I'm struggling so hard now to get this exercising to be the next habit that I create, and drinking water to be the next habit that I create, so that it's just something I do every afternoon. It's very hot in Mississippi in the summer, so if you don't wake up early, and I'm not a morning person, and get your exercise in outside, you either have to do it inside or you have to do it late in the evening. Otherwise, you're running risk of heat stroke because it's so hot outside. So that's what I'm doing right now, is walking between like 6:30 and 7:30 in the afternoon, and that's really doing much better. I've also found that walking long straightaways is so boring that it just makes me want to quit. And the street by my house is literally that. It is a long straightaway. If I walk to and there's no side streets for me to mix it up. So if I walk to the end of my street and back, it's 2 miles. So it's perfect. And I thought, this is great. And so that's what I was doing. I was walking to the end of the street and back, and just wanting to poke my eyes out. So then I was at somebody else's house this weekend and decided to go for a walk, and it's a little bit hilly and it's curvy, and so even though I only walked to the end of the road and back, there was interest. I wasn't just this long, boring straightaway. So this afternoon, I'm going to walk around our campus here at school, and I think that's going to be much more interesting than those long straightaways. So I may start, even though it'll be hotter, walking late afternoon at school before I head home. And so just bringing my workout clothes here to school and changing after work. That may be what I start doing. I had been doing that earlier with the yoga. That's when I would do it, is after school. But with all the medical issues going on, the yoga has kind of gotten put off. I still am doing yoga, but just at home by myself, not with the group. And I need to get back to doing that. That helps so much. I'm so rambling today, but I have one more thing I wanted to tell you, and that was the stretches. Several people were talking about how they were having a lot of tightness in their calves and their feet were hurting, and I personally was having shin splints and just my shins killing me after a walk. And so we've been supporting each other by giving each other information. So if there's a specific issue that you are having that you want to ask the group, keeping in mind that these are not necessarily medical opinions, it's just one girlfriend giving another girlfriend a bit of advice. And it's worth what you're paying for it, right? So if you want our advice, our 2 cents on whatever issue you're having. I know I always am like, hey, this is what's going on with me. Has anybody else had this going on with them? And so a lot of us are using the exercise accountability thread, creating your own thread, like when somebody created their own thread about stretches. Please do that and ask us. Like I said, it's just our free advice and it's worth what you're paying for it. But if you want to know our opinion, our 2 cents, you know, there's a lot of us out there who are more than willing to let you know what we've done that's helped, or to tell you, hey, you know, I'm having the same problem. If you find out something, let me know. So get over there and let us know what's going on with you. Or if something's really working for you, let us know that too, because that will really help and inspire the rest of us. I hope y'all are having a great week. I can't wait to talk to you again next week and let you know about the colorway design. So get out there, get training, get knitting, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.